Hi, this is Eitan Pinsky at Pinsky Mortgages, and today we have with us...
Khushhal Bains. I'm one of the real estate lawyers at Bell Alliance.
And you're also a partner there?
Yes.
Today we're going to talk about real estate conveyancing and all the things that go into your purchase and getting a mortgage. So, Khushhal, from what I believe and what I understand, real estate conveyancing means that you're going to be doing three things for the clients. So the first thing is you put the client or the buyer on title of a property. So now they're the new owner.
Absolutely, yes.
Second thing is you put the mortgage on title because we're getting a mortgage in most cases. I'm the mortgage broker. So the second thing is you actually put the buyer on title and then the mortgage on title. And the third thing you do is handle all the money with that transaction. Is that about correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah. First question that I have for you is, before you go to the lawyer's office, what's the best advice you would have for a borrower or client when it comes to getting a property and going to get conveyancing?
Sure. I think the best advice is make sure you pick a good realtor and you pick a good mortgage broker. Because what happens before you get to our office is it's your realtor who drafts the actual contract. It's your mortgage broker who puts together your mortgage. So our job as lawyers here is to make sure whatever you agreed to actually happens and that your mortgage funds.
So when you say contract, you're talking about like the purchase and sale agreement?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like if you ask me who drafts all the clauses, it's your realtor. So it's really important to pick someone who knows what he or she is doing. Well, I think the key thing is to have a really good team put together, right? Because we will find sometimes behind the scenes, the mortgage broker and the realtors contact me and say, hey, we're thinking about putting this clause in. Can you help us?
Exactly. And in many cases you do help and you're telling us what's good and what's not good to put in.
Yeah.
Before somebody meets with you, what are the things that happen behind the scenes? Because it seems like a big question that my clients have is, we introduce you, and then it goes into a black hole and they don't know what's going on. Well, actually, when we introduce you, it's fine, but in many cases, our clients come back to us and say, well, our funding is in a month and a half, but our lawyer or notary hasn't contacted us. We're just a little confused as to what's going on.
So just to manage people's expectations, it is relatively speaking normal. You won't experience much happening until just shortly before your completion date. Behind the scenes, the lawyer and the broker and the lender and the realtor are connecting and sending documents back and forth. But from a client's perspective, really they just need to speak to their lawyer, book an appointment, and then there's just a lot of waiting. And then shortly before your appointment, we run around. That's just the nature of the beast.
What kinds of things can a client do to prepare for that meeting that you're going to have with them in the future?
Sure. So what a client needs to do is we make sure they have insurance in place. So I always remind people that insurance should be in place for your completion date, not your possession date.
Of course.
In our meeting, we'll need to show up with two pieces of ID. One has to be picture ID. And usually we want to collect a void check from you. That's to set your mortgage payments up to be paid automatically. Also, because of the foreign national rules, we'll need to do what I call SIN verification. So essentially, we just need a document that has your name and your SIN number on it. So a T4 slip, an NOA, or SIN card. So.
Awesome. So when it comes to prior to that meeting, one of the questions that we get quite often is, how much money do I need to bring into this meeting? Many cases, that information will be done on a statement of adjustments. Is that correct?
Correct.
So how do you create a statement of adjustments? And many of our clients, we do create that statement of adjustments for you on our mortgage worksheet. But many other clients, if it's a very quick sale and we don't have a firm time to go over it, how do you actually create that statement of adjustments?
Yeah, a great question. So I will also emphasize, like if you ask me, so what are the clients really worried about? They're like, well, hey, I need to bring some money in. I have no idea how much, right? So in my opinion, that your mortgage broker should be the one helping you, give you a sense of what the numbers are. Because if you're asking us, we're drilling down to the exact dollar and penny. So we're collecting information from the strata, from the city, from the other side. So it really is the case that we only have numbers down to the dollar and penny set up just a day or two prior to your completion date. The other thing that we always remind clients, especially in this environment, is to make sure your money's liquid. Do not move money around 5 days prior to your completion date. Nowadays, you put a bank draft into your bank account, the bank will hold it for 3 to 5 business days. Business days, even if it's a bank draft. Right. Then you also have to worry about if you're dealing with an internet bank, they need 3 or 4 days advance notice. And I think the other thing that people worry about, they worry that they have to collect all the money and put together one big bank draft.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's not required. You can give us 4 or 5 bank drafts. And again, just want to emphasize, don't move your money around right before your completion date, because we're having all sorts of problems with holds on funds.
So let's talk about the money a little bit more. From a statement of adjustments, what's going to be on it is the purchase price.
Yep.
What else? What are the large items that are on the statement of adjustments?
All right, so the large items is purchase price, of course, the deposit.
So wait. What is a statement of adjustments?
So a statement of adjustment is just a balance sheet. So it sets out how much, how the money works.
I think we're going to have a statement of adjustments shown like right here.
There we
so
go, yeah.
I hope it's right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So property transfer tax is on that document as well. There's also adjustments for property taxes and strata fees, just to make sure that everyone pays their fair share. So that is also sometimes, depending on the what time of the year you buy, the seller may have paid property taxes until December 31st. So then you're going to have to give back some of that money.
And so that's an adjustment.
Absolutely.
Same thing with condo fees. If you buy it on the 15th of the month and they paid for full for a month, you have to pay them back for 15 days what they don't use.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to think of the lawyer. So we're collecting all the money. So we get the money from the bank, we get the money from you. We deal with the deposit that you've given to your realtor. So we're effectively going to the store and buying your new home. So the statement of adjustment sets out, hey, exactly how much money do we have to give to the other side? And from your perspective, it sets out how much money you need to bring into our office.
So one question that people have is, I have one lawyer. Why do I only have one lawyer? And who is this lawyer representing? Who is this lawyer working for?
So obviously we're working for you, the buyers. We are also working for the bank. And so sometimes people think this is a little bit odd because they think, is this a conflict of interest? So effectively, you want us to be working on both sides. It's a fairly straightforward transaction. The bank wants the money, you want the money. There's no big conflict here.
They want to lend you the money and you want the money, yeah.
Show me the money.
Absolutely. And really, it's a cost-saving mechanism. Whoever borrows the money is responsible for all costs in terms of getting the money. So if you or the bank want separate lawyers, then you, the borrower or buyer, is going to have to pay for two sets of lawyers. And that's just a colossal waste of money. So that's why it's a standard practice in residential conveyancing that we act for both the buyers as well as the bank.
So when it comes to normal mortgages, anywhere from an A lender to a bank, a monoline lender, or a credit union, it's going to be one lawyer.
Yes, absolutely.
But when are there two lawyers involved?
So two lawyers are involved usually if it's not a simple conveyancing. So, for example, a small commercial purchase.
So now we're in the meeting, and what happens in that meeting? It's only about an hour, right?
So first I start telling jokes.
Okay, that's me, I try.
Right, there you go.
Dad jokes or bad jokes?
I'm a dad, so I definitely have a lot of dad jokes. So basically the meeting is about 40 minutes or so, and we'll go through all the documents. Obviously I'll need to collect your ID, so just go over and explain all the documents. And then of course we spend a fair bit of time on the statement of adjustments. It's a lot of money, so it's important that you understand exactly why you're paying the amount that you're paying.
So, and what happens after the meeting? What do you do with those documents?
Sure. So effectively what we do is we send documents to the bank, and because obviously we want the bank to fund. So the other thing is that, so typically a lot, from your perspective, not much happens afterwards. Everything is done quietly behind the scenes. So effectively from my desktop, I will switch ownership from the seller to you. On your day of completion, I want to say typically 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, we'll let you know that you're the owner, and your realtor is the one that helps you with the keys.
Perfect, and that's possession.
Yes, exactly.
Do you have any final piece of advice for people going into the conveyancing process or things that they need to know, just some helpful tips?
Sure. So I think just in terms of deciding which lawyer or notary to use, I think the key thing from my perspective is, well, competency, but I'm just going to assume that you're dealing with someone who's experienced, who knows what he or she is doing, but also style, right? Like, so for example, with our office, we're really big on customer service. You email us, we respond. Right? I mean, my wife is always mad at me because I'm trying to respond to everyone on the same day. And she's like, "Come home, honey," because she loves me. But
or she's angry.
Yeah, or she. Well,
that never happens.
That never happens. Right? But yeah, so just from our office is really, really responsive, and we're very focused on customer service. But I would say, so if you're nervous, you want to deal with a lawyer or a notary that's willing to hold your hand through the process, because sometimes it is kind of a scary process.
Yeah. So we have plenty of people that we refer. Khushhal is one of the people that takes great care of our clients. You're looking for good service and you're looking for education. We want people to understand not just what we're doing, but why we're doing things. With that, thank you very much, Khushhal. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Okay. And you can find both of us at, here's our contact information. I hope.
There it is.
And have a great day.
Okay, take care. Thank you.